Police officers are good people. Many people think that they are all bad, but if they have the courage and the heart to protect the lives of the citizens while putting their own on the line, then they have good inside of their hearts. Just as the saying goes, every now and then you'll get a sour apple in the bunch, which is why we have some police officers do wrong things, and which is the reason for the labeling of all police officers. Many people claim that police are racist and discriminate against minority groups. The definition of discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. To be perfectly clear, the numbers of crimes by Caucasians outnumbers those of all other races by a large margin. How could this be called discrimination when the number of minority arrests is far below the majority arrests? The definition of racism is the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. Just because an African American or Hispanic man is arrested does not make a police officer racist. He or she would be racist if he or she was in the mindset that they were inferior. Here are a few interviews to show you that police officers are good people, and without them, life would be much harder. What is your opinion on the good and bad things that police do for the community?
I think police officers in general are good, but I believe that media attention goes and tends to go towards viewing the bad of police officers. It's like you don't hear about a lot of good deeds, but you hear more about a lot of bad things that happen because police officers either make a mistake or sometimes they do things that are bad and stuff like that. They abuse power. But you tend to hear a lot about the bad because that's what gets media coverage. Basically, that's what gets them their views. And I feel like police officers do a lot more good than they do bad. Like, who are you going to call when you need help, when there's a crime that's going on? You're going to call the police. Even though you might think they're bad, you're still going to call them. And that's the thing is, no matter what you think of them, they still tend to do their job. And that's basically a benefit of having the police around. Like, they're good. They're not bad.
Thank you.
What is your view? What is your view on police officers?
I think police officers are really important for us to have, and I don't think it's fair if we judge all of them based on the actions of a few. Just as all people should not be judged by the actions of these specific criminals, because not all people are bad, and not all police officers are bad.
Reagan?
Police officers enforce laws and protect the law, and they don't get enough credit for the things they do right. Instead, bad things are focused on. It's easy for us to want to criticize the bad things they do because we see them as something that should be like a hero to us, but really they're doing the best that they can, in my opinion, and I think that they're really essential.
Thank you.
How long have you been a police officer?
18 years.
Can you tell me some of the things that police officers do that many people wouldn't know that they do, like, behind the scenes?
We do a lot of things. Most of the things we do are things that other people wouldn't want to do. If people don't know who to call, usually they call the police. We do things like help animal control out, go into cases and stuff where dogs are barking. We're first responders, so we respond a lot of times with rescue and fire, and we're the first ones usually on scene, and we give updates of what's going on. If we need to, we give first aid, or we can hook up the AED, which is a defibrillator if they're having cardiac arrest. We aid injured people, and we give updates, like I said, to fire and rescue. We help disabled motorists, people that are broke down on the side of the road. We help them, try to call them a record, try to see if we can help them out as best we can to get their car started or fix their flat tire. We have a program that we're involved with called Project Lifesaver that puts bands and monitors on elderly that have dementia or Alzheimer's, or young kids that have autism that might go wandering. That way their family members can find out where they're at and they're not in any danger. We also help find missed kids, mostly at the beachfront. If they're at the beach with their parents and they go wandering around away from their fire. We have a program that we're involved with called Project Lifesaver that puts bands and monitors on elderly that have dementia or Alzheimer's, or young kids that have autism that might go wandering. That way their family members can find out where they're at and they're not in any danger. We also help find missed kids, mostly at the beachfront. If they're at the beach with their parents and they go wandering around away from their parents, we help them get relocated with their parents. We assist citizens with a lot of things. Like I said earlier, if somebody doesn't know who to call, they call the police most of the time, the dispatchers. Someone has a leak in their house, say their water heater goes out, we'll help them go out and turn their water off. Even one time, someone's line to their washing machine busted, and to help them turn that off. Also, during a hurricane, when all the power was out, an elderly female called. She had bottled water at home to drink, and she couldn't get the bottles open, so we responded to help that person, help them the bottles of water. We help people in crisis that are in depression or suicidal. We help them get help or treatment, someone to talk to. That's basically about it. We do whatever we can to help anybody. If somebody doesn't know who to call, like I said, they call us, and we'll try to do whatever we can to help them.
Thank you.
I go now? Okay. Police officers are good because they protect us and they do good things in the community and they take care of their own, and just because a couple make mistakes and a couple take things too far doesn't mean that everybody's bad. And they help kittens and they help little kids, and if you get lost from your mommy, you can go to a police officer and they'll help you find your way home. And yeah.
What is your view on the good things that the police do in our society?
I think that the police force offer a lot of protection for our city and our country. They put their lives on the line every single day to protect us from criminals and being obstructed. So it's actually like a big thank you to all of them for doing what they do and just putting so much work into their job and protecting us.